The crack of the bat echoed like a gunshot across the dusty field, but it was my brother's laugh that shattered me. Sharp, mocking, slicing through the summer air as I stood there, frozen. My skinny arms trembling around the bat I'd swung at nothing but ghosts. "What the hell was that, Alex? You gonna hit the ball or just flirt with it?" Jake bellowed from the dugout, his voice booming over the jeers from our teammates. The parents in the stands shifting uncomfortably but saying nothing because he was the star, the golden boy, and I was just the tag-along little brother who couldn't catch a break. In that moment, as the ball sailed untouched into the outfield and the umpire's call of strike three hung in the humid Indiana twilight, I felt the first real fracture in my soul. Not from the game, but from the brother who'd sworn to protect me when our parents shuffled us into this blended family 5 years earlier. That was the summer of 1998, back when life in our sleepy suburb of Bloomington felt like a Norman Rockwell painting cracked at the edges. Our folks had married in a whirlwind after Dad's divorce and Mom's quiet widowhood. Him from California with his easy grin and real estate hustle. Her from the Midwest with her no-nonsense farm girl grit. Jake was 14 then, already towering over me at 6'1". His shoulders broad from wrestling and football dreams that never quite panned out. I was 9, all elbows and knees, with a mop of curly brown hair that refused to stay combed and eyes too big for my face. The kind that made teachers coo and bullies sniff weakness. Baseball was supposed to be our thing, the glue to bond these mismatched brothers. Dad signed us up for Little League, bought us matching gloves that smelled of fresh leather and possibility. But from the first practice, Jake turned it into his personal coliseum, and I was the gladiator who kept dropping his sword. Started small. A shove in the on-deck circle. Stand up straight, squirt. Ain't nobody gonna take you seriously looking like that. Then it escalated. During games, he'd position himself behind home plate when I was up, hissing reminders of every perceived failure. The time I tripped over my own feet during tryouts, or how I'd rather sketch in my notebook than toss a football. The team ate it up. Jake was the captain, the kid with the cannon arm and the .450 batting average, headed for varsity glory. They called him Big Jake. And me? Little Alex the Pansy. I hated that word, the way it slithered off their tongues like it was fact, not slur. Deep down, I knew why it stung so bad. Even at 9, I felt different. The way my stomach flipped when the cute assistant coach adjusted my stance, his hand lingering on my shoulder. The posters of shirtless surfers taped inside my closet door, hidden from prying eyes. Gay wasn't a word we used in our house. It was something whispered about those people on the news, the ones marching in San Francisco while we grilled burgers in the backyard. One night after a particularly brutal loss, me striking out twice, Jake hitting a double that wasn't enough to save us. I trudged home alone, cleats dangling from my laces, the streetlights buzzing like judgmental fireflies. Jake caught up on his bike, pedaling lazy circles around me. "You gotta toughen up, Alex. World's not kind to crybabies." I stopped, fists clenched, dirt caking my uniform. "Why do you hate me so much? We're brothers now." He braked hard, tires screeching, and for a split second his face softened. Those blue eyes, so like Dad's, flickering with something unspoken. Regret? Pity? Then it hardened again. "I don't hate you. I'm making you better. Now run home before Mom worries." He sped off, leaving me in the dust, wondering if love ever came without the sting. School started soon after, 7th grade for me, a gauntlet of lockers and whispers. Baseball bled into everything. Jake, now in high school, was the king varsity shortstop, girls trailing him like groupies, scouts whispering about college ball. I'd watch from the bleachers sometimes, cheering silently while he ignored me. At home, dinners were minefields. Dad would clap Jake on the back. "That's my boy. Next stop, Majors." Mom would slide me extra mashed potatoes, her quiet way of saying she saw the bruises, not just the physical ones from slides gone wrong, but the invisible kind etched into my heart. I'd force smiles, choke down stories of my day, art club, where I drew landscapes that earned A's, or the library volunteer gig that let me escape into books about far-off places where boys could love boys without the world crumbling. But Jake's shadow loomed largest. He'd barge into my room unannounced, rifling through my drawers for manly clothes to replace my faggy polos. Once, he found my hidden sketchbook, pages filled with portraits of male athletes, their forms captured in pencil strokes that betrayed my secrets. He flipped through it, chuckling low. "This why you suck at sports? Too busy dreaming." He tore out a page, my favorite, a lithe runner mid-stride, and crumpled it under his cleat. "Burn this crap, Alex, or I'll tell Dad you're weird." I lunged for it, tears hot on my cheeks, but he held me at arm's length, effortless. "Pathetic," he muttered, tossing the wad at my feet before stalking out. That night, I taped the pieces back together in the bathroom, the mirror reflecting a boy who felt like a stranger in his own skin. By spring, the bullying peaked. Regional playoffs, our team won win from state. I was the designated pinch runner, my speed the one thing Jake couldn't mock. Bottom of the seventh, tie game, man on third. Jake nods me in. Heart pounding, I dash home on his hit, sliding safe under the tag. Crowd erupts, teammates hoist me up. For one glorious breath, I'm a hero. Then Jake's there, yanking me aside in the chaos. "Don't get cocky, twerp. That was luck." His grip bruised my arm, eyes darting to ensure no one heard. I pulled away, whispering, "One day, you'll need me, Jake, and I won't be there." He laughed it off, but as we piled into the van victorious, I saw the flicker again, that haunted look, like he was running from his own demons. High school blurred into a survival game. I quit baseball after freshman year, Jake's taunts too raw in the cramped dugout. Track became my outlet. Sprints where I could outrun the pain, cross-country trails that wound through Indiana's rolling hills like veins of forgotten promises. Jake went all in on ball, earning a partial ride to Purdue, but injuries sidelined him junior year, a torn rotator cuff that ended his pro dreams before they started. He came home bitter, crashing on our couch, popping painkillers like candy. Our conversations dwindled to grunts over coffee, his eyes avoiding mine. Mom died that winter, cancer swift and merciless, leaving Dad adrift and us orphans in all but name. At her funeral, Jake hugged me awkwardly, mumbling, "Sorry I was a dick, kid." I nodded, throat tight, but the words hung unfinished, a bridge half built over the chasm between us. College pulled me east to NYU, art scholarship in hand, the city a whirlwind of acceptance I'd only dreamed of. Stonewall marches in my textbooks came alive on Christopher Street, where I kissed my first boy under neon lights, his stubble rough against my smooth jaw, the world not ending but blooming. I came out sophomore year, email to Dad, "I'm gay. Love you anyway." His reply, "Proud of you, son. Always." Jake's? Radio silence. Back home for summers, I'd catch him staring sometimes, at pride stickers on my laptop, the rainbow keychain dangling from my keys. "Still playing pretend?" He'd sneer, but softer now, laced with curiosity he wouldn't name. Then Timmy came along. At 28, fresh off a messy breakup with my partner of 3 years, Evan, who couldn't handle the small-town baggage I carried, I decided fatherhood on my terms. Surrogacy, a donor from a clinic in Boston, and 9 months later, my son entered the world screaming in a Manhattan hospital, his tiny fists waving like victory flags. Timmy, with his mop of dark curls and eyes that mirrored mine, became my anchor. We moved back to Bloomington when he was 2, Dad's health failing, the family home too big for one. I opened a graphic design studio downtown, freelancing logos for local breweries and nonprofits, life settling into a rhythm of crayons and bedtime stories. Timmy hit 5 and fixated on baseball. "Like Uncle Jake," he'd chirp, oblivious to the ghosts in that name. Dad, frail in his recliner, would chuckle. "Your dad's no slouch, used to outrun the wind." But I knew the truth. My glove gathered dust in the attic. When Timmy's t-ball league started, I fumbled through practices, kids giggling as I botched throws. Desperation hit during open house night. Jake, 40 now, grizzled beard flecked with gray, volunteering as assistant coach for the minors. Divorced, no kids, running a sports bar called Jake's Dugout on the edge of town. Our eyes met across the gym, time folding like origami. He nodded, cautious. I swallowed pride and history. "Hey, Timmy's on your roster. Could use some pointers, if you're up for it." His pause stretched eternal. Then, Yeah, for the kid. That night, as I tucked Timmy in, his glove clutched like a talisman. I wondered if forgiveness was a pitch I could still catch. Little did I know, Jake's demons were swinging back harder than ever. The first practice dawned crisp under Indiana's September sun, leaves just starting to blush gold along the White River. Timmy bounced beside me in the parking lot, his two big caps slipping over his eyebrows, bat bag slung over one shoulder like a knight's scabbard. Is Uncle Jake nice, Daddy? Like in your stories? I forced a smile, ruffling his hair. He's complicated. But yeah, kiddo. He'll teach you to hit him out of the park. Inside, my gut twisted. Stories I'd spun of heroic big brothers were fairy tales, not facts. Jake's truck pulled up, gravel crunching, and he unfolded from the cab like a weathered oak, clipboard in hand, whistle around his neck. He spotted us, hesitated, then strode over, eyes locking on Timmy first. You must be the slugger. Name's Coach Jake. Ready to crush some dreams. Timmy giggled, extending a sticky hand. Jake shook it solemn, then glanced at me, appraising, almost tender. Alex, thanks for this. We fell into an uneasy routine. Evenings after my design deadlines, I dropped Timmy at the field, lingering on the sidelines with a thermos of coffee, sketching idly while Jake barked drills. First, it was torture. Watching him with the kids, crouched low, demonstrating grips with calloused hands, his laugh booming genuine now, stirred old resentments. Plant your feet, Timmy, like roots in the dirt, he'd call, and my son would mimic, earnest and unscarred. But when Jake's gaze drifted to me during water breaks, holding a beat too long, it unsettled something deeper. Was it guilt? Or the echo of that flicker from years ago, the one I'd chalked up to brotherly regret? One dusk practice, as fireflies winked on, Timmy nailed a line drive, solid, true, the crack pure music. The team cheered, Jake hoisted him piggyback, parading like a trophy. That's my nephew. Blood tells, huh? He winked at me over Timmy's shoulder, and for the first time, I laughed real unguarded. Later, as parents milled, he sidled up, offering a Gatorade. Kids got your speed. Remember that playoff slide? You were electric. I blinked, caught off guard. You remember that? He shrugged, scuffing his boot in the infield. Every inning, I was hard on you cause, hell, I was scared of not being enough for Dad. For you. The admission hung, fragile as moth wings. I nodded, throat tight. Water under the bridge, Jake. Mostly. Dad's condition worsened that fall. Congestive heart failure, the doctor said, his once strong frame shrinking to whispers. Hospice talks loomed, and family dinners became vigils around his hospital bed. Beeping monitors a grim soundtrack. Jake and I tag-teamed visits, Timmy drawing get-well cards with crayons that bled color onto the sterile sheets. One night, post-shift, we slumped in the cafeteria, vending machine coffee bitter between us. He asked about you today, Jake said, stirring sugar endlessly. Said you're the artist he always knew you'd be. Proud. I stared at my cup, steam curling like unspoken grief. And you? The coach. Fitting. He chuckled, hollow. Yeah, well, life's jokes. Lost the arm, lost the wife. Lisa couldn't handle the has-been label. But this. He gestured vaguely toward the field beyond the window. Timmy. It's redemption, maybe. That's when the cracks in Jake widened. I'd catch him after practices, alone by the bleachers, nursing a flask hidden in his glove bag. Old habits. He'd mutter if I pressed, but his eyes, those blue depths, betrayed storms. I started staying longer, helping pack cones, our conversations meandering from Timmy's swing to ghosts of our youth. Why the sketches back then? He asked one evening, stars pricking the velvet sky. The runners, the ball players. Heat flooded my face, he'd kept that memory sharp. Escape, beauty in motion. And yeah, guys. The word dropped heavy, but he didn't flinch. Knew it, felt it in you even as a kid. Wish I'd protected that, not punched it down. His hand brushed mine. Accidental, electric, and I pulled back, heart hammering. Boundaries, Alex. He's family. Timmy's first game arrived under a canopy of October clouds, the air crisp with cider mill scents wafting from town. I sat front row, sketchpad forgotten as he took the plate, cap tipped just so, Jake's coaching etched in his stance. Pitch comes, wild, but Timmy fouls it off, crowd murmurs approval. Second pitch, contact, a grounder to short. He sprints, safe at first, grinning ear to ear. Jake's fist pump from the dugout mirrors mine in the stands. A synchronicity that aches sweet. We win 5-3, post-game pizza at Jake's bar, a raucous affair. Kids hyped on sugar, parents swapping war stories. Timmy conks out on my lap. Jake slides into the booth opposite, beers in hand. To little brothers who grow up fierce. We clink, foam sloshing, and in that foam-flecked moment, I see him. Not the bully, but the boy who'd lost his mom young, thrust into manhood too soon, lashing out at the softness he craved but feared. Winter crept in, snow blanketing the diamond in hush. Dad passed mid-December, funeral a blur of casseroles and condolences, the church pews creaking under shared sorrow. Jake and I stood shoulder to shoulder at the graveside, Timmy between us clutching a single rose. He loved us, flawed as we are. The pastor intoned, and Jake's voice cracked on the amen. That night, house echoing empty, we sat on the porch swing, Timmy asleep inside, passing a bottle of Dad's bourbon, stars sharp overhead. I was wrong, Alex, about everything. The teasing. It was me hating what I saw in you. The fear. He paused, breath fogging the chill. I'm gay too. Buried it deep. Married Lisa to prove it. Failed spectacularly. The confession landed soft, revolutionary. I turned, his face illuminated by porch light. Vulnerable, handsome in its lines. Jake, I felt it back then. Hoped, maybe. But you broke me. Tears traced his cheeks, mirroring mine. Let me fix it. Not as brother, as me. Spring thawed the fields, league resuming with a vengeance. Timmy flourished under Jake's wing, but so did we. Late-night texts evolving to coffees, then walks along the river where willows wept secrets. Our first real date, if you could call it that, was unintentional. A scout trip for new bats, Timmy at a playdate. Warehouse aisles stretched endless, fluorescent hum underscoring our banter. Jake hefted a Louisville Slugger, swinging air. Remember when I'd make you take extra BP? God, I was an ass. I leaned against a rack, arms crossed. Yeah, but you're not anymore. Our eyes met, charge building like storm clouds. He stepped closer, thumb brushing my jaw, gentle, questioning. I leaned in, lips meeting his in a kiss tentative as first base, tasting regret and renewal. We pulled apart breathless, foreheads touching. Worth the wait, he whispered. I nodded, world tilting toward yes. But paradise in Bloomington came with thorns. Jake's ex, Lisa, rolled back into town. Divorce papers finalized, but grudges eternal. She cornered me at the studio one afternoon, Timmy napping in the back. Heard you're playing house with my Jake. Careful. He discards what's soft. Her words echoed old jeers, planting doubt. That night, at practice, I watched Jake push Timmy harder. A missed catch earning a sharp, focus, sun, and saw shadows of the past. Was history rhyming or repeating? Timmy came home teary. Coach yelled, "Am I bad?" I held him, fuming, confronting Jake by phone. Don't break him like you broke me. Silence, then, I'm scared, Alex, of screwing this up, of us. The vulnerability cracked me open. But trust? That was a long foul ball. May bloomed riotous, dogwoods unfurling pink against the endless blue. But beneath the pollen-dusted air, tension coiled like a pitcher's windup. Timmy's team clawed toward playoffs, undefeated streak a fragile crown, and Jake threw himself into it. Drills till dusk, film sessions in his bar's back room where I join, poring over grainy footage, our knees brushing under the table. Those touches multiplied. A hand on my lower back guiding me through crowds, fingers intertwining during stolen lunch hours at the diner on Main, where pie a la mode became code for stay a little longer. Romance unfolded slow, chaste. Kisses in the truck after drop-offs. His beard tickling my neck as we whispered dreams under stadium lights. Never thought I'd get this, he'd murmur, tracing constellations on my palm. You, me, finally seeing each other. I'd smile, heart full, but Lisa's barb lingered, a splinter I couldn't tweeze. Dad's estate settled quietly, house to us jointly, proceeds split for Timmy's college fund. We turned the basement into a man-cave hybrid. Jake's weight bench beside my drafting table, baseball memorabilia mingling with framed sketches of the three of us. Family portrait reimagined. Timmy thrived on the stability, chattering about our team at bedtime, oblivious to the undercurrents. But Jake's past wasn't done haunting. Old teammates trickled into the bar. Rowdy nights where beers flowed and stories turned sharp. One Friday, post-win, I arrived to find him cornered by Brock, high school rival turned insurance salesman. Faces inches apart. Still pretending, Big Jake? Word is you're batting for the other team now. Laughter erupted. Ugly. Jake shoved back, glass shattering. Get out. I pulled him aside in the alley, rain slicking our shirts. Let him talk. We're real. He sagged against the brick, defeated. It's not them. It's me. Always fighting the mirror. That vulnerability drew us closer. Nights spent unraveling on the couch. Timmy conked out upstairs, his head in my lap as I carted fingers through his hair, listening to confessions poured like contraband whiskey. Jake's coming out had been a war. First crush on a college roommate, buried under frat boy bravado. The wedding to Lisa a desperate shield, crumbling when he couldn't perform the role. I saw myself in you, Alex, that fear, that fire. Bullied you to kill it in myself. Tears soaked my jeans. Forgiveness a tide washing clean. In return, I shared my scars. The furtive hookups in New York alleys, the therapy sessions unpacking brother wounds. The terror of raising Timmy authentic in a town that still side-eyed rainbows. You're my safe harbor now, I said, kissing his temple. He rose, cupping my face. Our mouths meeting fierce. Passion banked but burning. Bodies aligning in promise without consummation. Hearts the true union. Playoffs loomed, first round against rivals from Lafayette. A team of mini-bruisers coached by a grizzled ex-pro with a vendetta against Jake's glory days. Practice intensified, Jake's intensity bordering mania. Timmy came home drained, bruises from slides blooming on his shins. Coach says I gotta be tougher, he'd say, echoing ghosts. I confronted Jake at dawn, dew heavy on the grass as we jogged the back fields. Ease up, he's 5, not your redemption project. Jake halted, chest heaving. I know, but if he fails, like I did. His voice broke, and I pulled him close, rain from an overnight shower mingling with sweat. He won't, because we won't let him. There, amid wild grasses, we held each other, brothers, lovers, survivors. The world narrowing to breath synced, a vow unspoken. Lisa's shadow lengthened. She filed for shared bar equity, claiming Jake's lifestyle change devalued their settlement. Code for outing him to the judge. Whispers spreading like ivy through Bloomington's tight-knit veins. Calls from old friends turned probing. Heard Jake's gone Hollywood. You involved. I stonewalled, but isolation crept in. At a league picnic, parents clustered, eyes darting. Timmy's two dads' chatter met with polite smiles that didn't reach. Jake noticed, withdrawing into drills, flask reappearing. One night, I found him in the garage, bottle half empty, photos of his Purdue days scattered. Can't do this, Alex. Drag you down too. I knelt, prying the flask away. We're in it. Together. Our kiss that night was desperate, a lifeline. His hands framing my face, mine clutching his shirt, affirmation in every press. The semifinal hit like a fastball to the gut. Timmy's team up 4-2, bottom 8th, bases loaded. Their slugger, a kid twice Timmy's build, crushes one toward the fence. Timmy, in left, tracks it desperate, glove high, tips, drops, error, tie game. Jake explodes from the bench. What the hell, Timothy? Dig deep. Timmy crumples, tears streaking dust. I storm the field, scooping him up. Enough. Jake follows, apologetic. I didn't mean, but the damage ripples. Teammates stare, parents murmur. In the parking lot, Rain lashing. I unload. You're him again, the bully. My bully. He recoils, rain masking tears. I'm trying, Alex. God. I'm trying. We drive home separate. Timmy between us silent. The cab thick with fracture. Reconciliation brewed slow, over backyard barbecues where smoke curled forgiveness. Jake apologized to Timmy with ice cream and extra swings, vowing coach, not drill sergeant. To me, with wildflowers picked from the riverbank, daisies and asters, tied clumsy with twine. I love you, he said simply, on the porch swing where bourbon once flowed grief. Not as brother, as everything. I kissed him then, deep and unhurried, the swing creaking our rhythm. Love a home run cleared long ago. But betrayal brewed darker. Lisa, spurned and spiteful, leaked Jake's emails. Old ones to a college hookup, graphic enough to fuel tabloid fodder in our small pond. The bar review tanked. League dads pulled kids. Whispers of predator, slithering toward us. Jake spiraled, canceling practices, holing up with regrets. I found him one midnight, porch light haloing his slumped form. It's over. For us. For Timmy. No. I sat beside, hand on his knee. Fight. Like you taught me, tough, but true. Dawn broke as we planned. Lawyers, PR, pride flags at the bar. But the wound festered, trust once mended, fraying at edges. Championship Sunday dawned electric, stadium packed under relentless sun. Timmy's nerves jangled, but Jake's prep talk landed gentle. Play your heart, kid. Win or learn. Game tight, 2-1, our lead, 9th inning. Their ace winds up. Timmy at bat, eyes locked on Jake's nod. Crack, towering fly to center. Carries. Caught. Lost. Tears flow, but Jake's there. Hugging fierce. Proud. Always. In that embrace, boy to man, I see healing. Post-game, Lisa waits. Smirking. Flanked by her lawyer. Custody review for the bar's sake. Unfit environment. The blow lands. Not just business, but Timmy's world. Jake blanches. I steal. Over my dead body. Court dates loom, conflict cresting like a breaking wave. June's heat wave baked Bloomington into submission. Asphalt shimmering like mirages of escape, but court loomed inescapable. A deposition room with its sterile fluorescence and Lisa's lawyer, a slick ferret named Hargrove, flipping through exhibits like indictments. We'd lawyered up fast. Mine a no-nonsense queer advocate from Indy, tattoos peeking from cuffs, who assured, she's bluffing. Embittered ex, no grounds. But doubt gnawed. Timmy sensed the storm, regressing to thumb-sucking during story time, his questions piercing. Why's Aunt Lisa mad, Daddy? Did I drop the ball? I'd hug him tighter, Jake echoing from the kitchen. Nah, champ, she's just striking out. Our trio held fragile fortress, mornings of pancakes and pep talks, evenings of board games where Monopoly money bought pretend empires free of subpoenas. The hearing dragged mid-month, county courthouse a relic of oak and echo. Lisa testified first, perched prim in pearls, voice honeyed venom. Jake's instability, drinking, now this, phase endangers the community. And Alex, enabling it with his nephew. Gasps rippled. Judge, a silver-haired woman with kind eyes, rapped for order. Our turn. Jake, steady as he'd been on the mound, recounted growth. From bottle to bat to better man. I hurt my brother once. Won't repeat with my family. Me next, voice unwavering. We're building something real. For Timmy. For us. Exhibits flipped. Character letters from league parents. Timmy's glowing report cards. Bar receipts showing turnaround. Hargrove cross-examined. Probing Jake's history of aggression. Dredging baseball bullying from witness statements I'd forgotten existed. Old coaches. Reluctant. Wasn't aggression, Jake countered. Misguided love. The room stilled. Even Lisa shifted. Recess brought air. Hallway huddle. My hand in Jake's. Thumb stroking knuckles. You're killing it, I whispered. He squeezed. Us against the world. Like always. Verdict dropped afternoon. Motion denied. Sanctions on Lisa for frivolous claims. Cheers silent but seismic. Outside, Sun broke clouds. Timmy waiting with ice pops. Red for victory. That night, bonfire in the backyard. Sparks dancing like liberated fireflies. Jake pulled me aside. Ring box materializing. Simple silver band. Engraved, blood and chosen. Marry me, Alex. Make it legal forever. Tears blurred stars. I nodded, slipping it on. Our kiss sealed with smoke and certainty. Summer league wrapped. Timmy's trophy a plastic gleam on the mantle. But life pitched curves anew. Jake's bar rebounded. Pride night drew crowds. Rainbow banners fluttering defiant. Our romance deepened in stolen symmetries. Weekend hikes in Brown County. Leaves crunching confessions. Lake picnics where Timmy splashed. Us lounging toes touching. Books open but unread. Intimacy bloomed emotional. Nights tracing scars. His rotator cuffs not under my fingers. My childhood fades lightened by his gaze. You're beautiful, he'd say. Not in lust but reverence. Bodies entwined chaste. Souls the deeper merge. Yet conflict simmered domestic. Jake's late shifts clashing my deadlines. Timmy's clinginess straining patience. He's testing, I'd remind, but fatigue frayed edges. Betrayal struck insidious. Not from Lisa but within. Jake's sponsor from AA, a burly ex-cop named Ray, cornered me at the bar one closing time. He's relapsing, Alex. Hiding bottles. For you, for the kid. But it ends bad. Heart plummeted. I'd smelled it faint, dismissed as sweat. Confrontation brewed at home. Timmy asleep. Me rifling cabinets till glass clinked damning. Jake walked in, deflating. The stress. The hearing, the bar. I didn't want to burden you. Rage flared. Old wounds ripping. Burden? Like your fists were? Your words. He recoiled, but I pressed. This isn't love, Jake. It's sabotage. He sank to knees, sobs raw. I know. Help me. We called Ray at dawn. Meetings recommitted. But trust teetered, nights separate beds. Days polite coexists for Timmy's sake. Climax crested Labor Day weekend. All-star tourney in Evansville. A 3-day gauntlet. Fields ringed by river bluffs. Air thick with grill smoke and glory. Timmy's squad, Jake coaching. Me sideline manager. Irony thick. First win euphoric. Second gritty. Third a bloodbath. Down 5-1. 8th inning, storm clouds brooding. Jake paces, voice steady but eyes wild. Flask glimpsed in his bag earlier. My warning unheeded. Timmy up. 2 strikes, shaking. Pitch sails, he swings wild, whiffing. Jake erupts. Not yell, but break down. Damn it, Timmy. Can't you see? Silence swallows the dugout. Timmy freezes, bat dropping, face crumpling. I charge, scooping him. Game over for you, Jake. Teammates gape. Parents film. Jake staggers back, horror dawning. Alex, The outpouring floods. Refs halt play. Kids to buses. Us in the ump's shack. Rain lashing tin roof like judgment. Timmy clings to me, whimpering. Jake pleads. I took a pull. 1. To steady. Betrayal boils. 1? Like your one shove turned to years? We're done. He grabs my arm. Desperate. No. This is the fight, the real one. I love you too much to lose. Lightning cracks. Thunder rolls our truths. I see it then, his fear mirroring mine, the bully boy craving the brother he broke. Prove it, I demand. All in. Rehab. Full. He nods, broken but resolute. Timmy stirs. Don't fight, daddies. The word plural ours shatters. We embrace, trio tangled. Storm raging without. Rebuild began raw. Jake checked into a 30-day program in Louisville. Visits weekends. Me driving Timmy down interstates lined with cornfields. His drawings taped to the rec room walls. Letters arrived. Handwritten scrawls of apology and ache. You're my home run, Alex. Wait for the catch. I did therapy my own pitch, unpacking resentment, reclaiming joy. Timmy adapted, school starting with finger paints and new friends. His resilience a mirror to ours. October harvest moon. Jake discharged, leaner, clearer-eyed, sponsor in tow. Homecoming quiet. Apple pie from neighbors. Timmy's tackle hug toppling him. That night, Porch swing ritual renewed, bourbon swapped for cider. I betrayed us, he starts. I hush. And redeemed. Our kiss reignites. Slow, sacred. The swings creak our heartbeat. Love tested, temper stronger. But humanism whispers wider. Community mends slow. League apology tour. Jake owning his slip publicly. We all strike out. Grace is the comeback. Parents nod, kids return. Lisa fades, settlement signed. Her own regrets a distant echo. November's chill gilded the edges of Bloomington. Frost etching windows like lace invitations to introspection. And in its hush, our family solidified. Not flawless, but forged. Jake threw himself into sobriety circles, sponsoring a teen from the league whose dad had bailed. Cycles broken, one share at a time. Mornings, we'd run the river trail, breaths sinking in clouds. Timmy on his bike weaving ahead like a comet tail. Faster, daddies! He'd yell and we'd chase, laughter chasing ghosts. My studio thrived, commissions for queer youth centers, logos blooming bold. Jake's bar rebranded, Safe Harbor. Trivia nights laced with ally talks. Romance wove domestic poetry. Saturday markets foraging for heirlooms. Jake's hands steady and mine past judgmental glances. Evenings curating playlists. Springsteen anthems for him, Hosier hymns for us. Dancing slow in the kitchen, Timmy giggling from stairs. Winter solstice brought proposal redux. Formal this time, under mistletoe strung in the town square. Carolers harmonizing "Oh Come All Ye Faithful" as Jake knelt again. Ring glinting by lamplight. Forever, Alex. Blood. Chosen. Eternal. Timmy, ring bearer in tiny suspenders, hooped as I said yes. The crowd. Once whisperers. Applauding genuine. Wedding plans spring. Backyard affair. Wildflowers and white tents. Dad's old glove on the arch as nod to origins. Invites went wide. Old teammates. Lisa even. Her RSVP a terse piece. But climax's aftershocks lingered. Conflict internal now. My fear of complacency. Jake's whisper doubts in dark hours. One blizzard night. Power out. Candles guttering. Timmy asleep burrowed between us. He confessed. Sometimes I wake sweating. Dreams of losing you both. I traced his jaw, voice steady. Then wake to this. Our embrace that night, bodies close but boundaries honored, was communion. Emotional apex. Love's quiet thunder. We're human, I murmured. Flawed pitches, perfect games. Spring erupted verdant. Wedding day a symphony of sun and scent. Lilacs heavy. Guests in seersucker mingling on lawn games. Vows exchanged under the oak dad planted. Jake's voice gravel tender. I bullied your light once. Now, I vow to fan it eternal. Mine. You taught me resilience. Together we teach grace. Rings slipped. Kiss sealed amid cheers. Timmy tossing petals like confetti dreams. Reception flowed. Barbecue ribs and craft brews. Toasts from Ray. From wreckage to wonder. To Timmy, best daddies ever. Dance floor swirled. Jake twirling me under strings. His hand warm at my waist. World blurring benevolent. Years folded forward. Humanistic arc bending toward light. Timmy hit 10. Little league star in his own right. Jake's patience paying dividends. My cheers from stands unshadowed. We adopted a rescue pup. Max. A lanky mutt who tripped over paws like I once did. Teaching us laughter in chaos. Jake coached high school now, mentoring out queer kids with scholarships in tow. I lectured at IU, graphic novels on bullying's bruise and beauty. Conflicts arose. Teen rebellion, market slumps. But betrayal's ghost stayed buried. Communication our glove. One autumn, regional tourney redux. Timmy's squad vying for state. Field the same dusty diamond of 98. Jake in the dugout, me beside, partners equal. Bottom ninth, tie, Timmy at plate. Pitch wins. He crushes, home run. Arc perfect against sunset. Dugout erupts. Jake hoists him. Our eyes meet over the scrum. Love's full count. Post-win. Bonfire echoes our weddings. Stories swapped of strikes and saves. Decade on, Timmy college-bound, art major, like me with Jake's swing. Empty nest looms, but we lean in. Travels to Provincetown beaches. hands clasped on dunes. Quiet nights sketching each other, lines softer with age. Regrets? He asks once, gray threading his beard. I smile, tracing his laugh lines. None. You? He pulls me close. Only not sooner. In Bloomington's heart, where rivers carve patient paths, we stand redeemed. Brothers reborn lovers. Family a field wide open. Bullied boy to beloved man. The crack of connection louder than any bat. Life, it turns out, isn't about perfect swings, but the grace to step up again. And in each other's arms, we always do. Epilogue whispers. Timmy's wedding someday. Us in back row beaming, cycle complete. Love's legacy unchained. Human? Yes. Dramatic falls, suspenseful rises, emotional depths plumbed. But romantic? Utterly. American as apple pie and underdog dreams. Our story etched in the stars over Indiana. Forgiveness Field's eternal home runs.